Every March, millions of people from all across the globe come together and become college basketball experts. Why is that? Hey guys, and welcome back to Baseline Full Court Press, the podcast where women's basketball gets the spotlight, the smoke, and the respect. I'm your host, Patience. This is a time where friends compete over brackets, workplaces have tournaments of their own, and fans watch games that they normally wouldn't watch. But what exactly is March Madness? How did one college tournament become the biggest cultural sporting event? Today, I'll be talking about just that, where the name came from, how teams even get in the tournament, and how the single elimination tournament has created some of the most iconic historical moments in college basketball. March Madness is the NCAA's annual college basketball tournament. This is for both men and women, where 68 teams fight it out for the national championships. And those 68 teams are split into 4 different regions: East, West, South, and Midwest. And each region has 16 seeded teams. The number 1 seed being the top ranked, and the 16th seed being the lowest ranked seed. And because this is a single elimination tournament, that means one bad game and your season is completely over. And that is where the madness comes. The tournament has rounds of 64, 32, and then we get to something that you've probably heard before, which is the Sweet 16, and then we get to the Elite 8, and then we get to the Final 4, and then we have the national championship. The tournament progresses, the stakes get higher, and the games get really intense. Now, how are those teams selected? Because there are way more than 68 schools that play basketball in college. So there are 2 ways to be admitted into the March Madness tournament. Every conference in college basketball has their own tournament. And to get an automatic bid, you must win that conference tournament. The second way to earn a spot in March Madness is going to be an at-large bid, otherwise known as Selection Sunday. And that's when the NCAA committee comes in and they rank teams based on wins, losses, scheduling, rankings, and also analytics to determine which team they won in March Madness. For the men's March Madness tournament, it started in 1939. The women's tournament began about 40 years later in 1982. March Madness is so popular because of its single elimination format, which, like I said earlier, a powerhouse team, can have a bad game and that is the end of their season. A team that you never thought would lose, or a team that is just undeniably good, loses in the first round or the second round. The upset is where it happens. Now let's get to the cream of the crop: bracket culture. During March, I guarantee you have heard someone speak about a bracket. And a bracket is when fans predict the winner of every single game all the way down until the championship before March Madness starts. Fun fact, no one has ever created an 100% bracket. Ever. And that's exactly how March Madness is. It is unpredictable. You can try to predict the upsets, but those upsets will not even be your upsets. Millions of people create brackets. It is so popular, even public figures do it, including Barack Obama. He drops his bracket every single year on March Madness. People love it. Now let me go ahead and explain another term, which is busted bracket, which means when a team that you thought would win loses very early in the bracket, essentially crumbling or busting your bracket. That's where all the fun comes in with your friends, co-workers, bosses, sisters, brothers, aunties, cousins, uncles, everyone. Whoever can keep their bracket alive the longest truly earns bragging rights, and also simultaneously seeming like a basketball genius. The popularity of March Madness has been going on for quite some time in the men's realm. But for the women, the tournament that was already getting acknowledged has exploded within recent years. And that growth has come from rivalries, TV exposure, superstar players, historic programs, and also social media. So now you know the format of the craziest tournament there is. Let's go ahead and get into some backstory. One of the most dominant teams in March Madness history for women's is going to be UConn, coached by Gino Auriemma. And if you don't know UConn and you don't know Gino, go ahead and look it up. He is the most winningest coach when it comes to the March Madness tournament, creating one of the most greatest dynasties there is in women's college basketball. Other powerhouses include Tennessee, South Carolina, Notre Dame, and LSU, just to name a few. These programs have helped elevate the national profile of women's college basketball and many other things. And among everything that March Madness is, It is ultimately a star making machine. And that is one of the biggest reasons why March Madness is so popular now. The power of March Madness is that one great run can change an entire team's career and also make you a household name. Number one star made that comes to mind is Caitlin Clark. She became a household name from one March Madness tournament. Caitlin Clark had a massive scoring performance in March Madness right before she went to the league, and that created so much traction and so many opportunities for her and women's basketball. We have Angel Reese, and Angel Reese's championship run created one of the most talked about events of March Madness. We have Candace Parker, Brittany Griner, Kelsey Plum. All of these players were made in March Madness. Now, yes, they were already good players before March Madness, but March Madness put them on the map. These moments don't just crown champions, they create legacies. And especially on the men's side, March Madness is a rite of passage. In 1982, Michael Jordan himself hit a game winning shot for North Carolina. That moment alone helped launch one of the greatest players of all time. So, March Madness is not just another basketball tournament, it is a cultural event built on chaos, competition, and most importantly, unforgettable moments. Every year, new stars are created, new brackets are busted, and history is made. In the next episode, I'll be diving into what is this March Madness looking like right about now. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I do appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, follow, subscribe, all of the things. I do appreciate it.